welcome to my channel. Today's video is a planner setup slash tour of the new digital planner that I put together for this school year. So I put together more than one planner actually. There are 12 different planners in total, which is kind of crazy. So there's the original theme that I had, which was like a rainbow theme, very bright, happy colors that you can see here. So this is like the original, it's just been spruced up. And then we have a black and white version. So it's a very different vibe, but some people wanted that. And then I also went ahead and did like a pastel watercolor version. So we have that going on. And then I made alternate versions. So for people that want to go January through December, we have that. And then there are ones that go July through June. And then we have dated versus undated. And then there's the dated version. So in the dated version, I have to go in every year and update these calendars with the dates. So you'll notice that the listing for these is slightly higher, and that's just because I have to every single year go back and add the updated calendars in. So that's quite a big undertaking. So for my planner this year, I'm choosing to stick with the rainbow theme. It's what makes me happy. I am going to use the dated version because why not? It's going to save me time from having to put all the numbers in, and I have to make a new dated version every year anyway now, so I'm going to stick with this. So the only thing I've done so far was just add my name into this box. So all the planners have this box in the front, so you could put like the original, let me see if I can pull it up. The original planner looked like this, and I got real tired of it real fast. So I have like a blank section right there. You could put just teacher planner, you could put my teacher planner like the original, you could put your name, whatever makes you happy. And I used a font for this. I actually just created this in Procreate. So I typed it up and then I turned off the background so that it was transparent, and I just put that into the planner. So if you compare this to the planner from last year, there are a few key differences. When I created last year's planner, I made it so that the size of everything would fit perfectly on my iPad, but different iPad sizes have different dimensions here. So I decided that going forward, I was gonna stick to the regular 8.5 by 11, which means that this planner here would be printable on a regular piece of paper if you wanted to print it out for some reason. And then I changed the tabs across the top. The tabs that were here, I didn't use them as often as I wish I had. So I decided to put in blank tabs at the top, and then that way I could create my own sections, and anyone using it, they could decide what tabs they wanted to have there as well. So a question that I've had a few times about the tabs is, how do you add text to them so that it shows up on every page? And the only way to really do that would be if I were to like write on it. And let's say I was going to do like first period like that, and then I could lasso it to copy. And I'm using the GoodNotes app, by the way. I didn't mention that before. And then I'd have to go in, see, now it wants me to open the link, and paste it and like put it on the tab every time. And then you don't necessarily have to write. You could use text, but you would have to go through and copy and paste it to every single page. So I am actually not planning to write anything on the tabs. Instead, when you open the tab, you get a blank page where you could put whatever you're planning on using that tab for. Here's a sneak peek at what all the different pages look like. Going back to the beginning, the other thing that I changed was adding in these icons. So these icons kind of replace what would have been tabs normally. So the first one will take you to the index. And so here's where you'll find some of those things that were from the original tabs. And then here you can add in what your tabs on the top are. So we have class lists, IEP 504, modifications, accommodations, seating charts, etc. And these are all linked. So if you wanted to get to one of these things, you can just hold down there, open link, and then it's going to bring you to a page that is a divider. And this page is linked. So what you don't want to do is delete this page. because you could delete any of the pages that you don't need. If you delete this one, what happens is that when you go to the index and you click here, it's not going to do anything when that page is deleted. The next icon here is a clipboard. So when you click on the clipboard, it's going to bring you to templates. So this is another page that's linked here, and it takes you through all the different types of templates that we have. And then these right here are all linked as well. So if I click on any of these, it's going to take me to whatever that template looks like. So those are divider pages, the ones that are bold and underlined, so I can get to notes really quickly and then find what I'm looking for, because sometimes when I look at these descriptions, if I'm trying to think too fast, like I need a visual, so sometimes it helps just to go to that page there. I'm going to scroll through all of these really quick. So you have the blank pages, like a completely blank page, and this I'm actually going to hit that button up there to bookmark it so I can come back to it anytime I need to, because you never know when you want to add in like a completely plain page. Then we have lines, grid, dots, to-do lists. These are like my favorite, so I added in 2-column checklist, a 1-column checklist. Now this was a new addition this year because people were requesting a to-do list by class period, and I didn't know how many people would need. So I did one that has 4 boxes, 6, 8, all the way up to 10. So if you did want to use this for periods, like my school has 8 periods, we actually go by letters instead of numbers. But this way I could have like A, B, C, all the way through my different classes. Then we have like your daily to-do list if you want to put down your schedule. It goes from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You have your power list, reminders and notes. And then you have a weekly one where you could put down any like special things going on for the day, and then have a little checklist on the side there for like your power list. All right, this next one is my favorite out of everything in the planner. This is what I use the most. So I'm actually going to bookmark it so I can find it easily. But you have this column here for a brain dump of all the different things, and then you can schedule them into the different days, and then there's only 3 check boxes here, so that way you're making a power list for each day and not overwhelming yourself. I have a video about to-do list methods for teachers and a blog post, so I'll link those below, but it talks about the difference between having a brain dump and a power list. So I give you options where they're lined, unlined. There's options that say weekend instead of next week. Then there's one for the whole school year. These are really helpful if you are on like a committee or you're coaching and you want to remember like the stuff that you do like maybe in the off season, just to have them jotted down so that you remember to do those things can be really helpful. Then I have one that's more of a time block to-do list. So you'd put your time blocks here. This looks different than it did in last year's planner. So let's say this was like before school and after school. I would fill in my before and after school tasks on these lists here. So it goes Monday through Friday. There is a little bit of room for brain dump here. And then we have it for 3 time blocks and then 4. I couldn't go beyond 4. I couldn't get 5 because then you wouldn't have enough room to write. This template is actually meant to be a landscape template, but I didn't want to make it landscape in the planner and then you'd have to like turn it because that's annoying. I wanted to keep it portrait oriented. Okay, then we have weekly plans. So we have going down vertically. Technically, I guess it's horizontal. I forget what I call it because I kept getting mixed up. And we have that for 1 prep all the way up to 6 different preps for Monday through Friday. And then we go in the other direction as well. And again, you have that for up to 6 preps going Monday through Friday. And then we just have like notes, like a blank notes page. We have lined with a margin. And that's it for the templates. So any of these pages here, if I go to my thumbnails and I wanted to copy them, I could select them, click here, go to copy, and then I could add these anywhere else in my planner that I like. The last icon down here is the star. This is a new addition and it was highly requested, but we now have stickers. Stickers are not my favorite. I'm really, quite honestly, not into them, but it is cool to have them. So one thing that I would do with my stickers, for example, is go through my school calendar and wherever it says we don't have school, I'm gonna add it into these calendars here. I mean, all of August is really no school. But then we also have like September, October, whatever. So if I go to my stickers, let's see. we start the school year with conference days. So one way to get the stickers into your planner is to lasso what we have right here, and then I'm going to tap it and take a screenshot of it. This is what my screenshot looks like, and then when I click on this arrow out of the box here, I'm going to go to where it says copy. And then, like I said, my PD days start in August. We call them conference days, so I just put conference day, and then I'm going to click paste here, and then just size it down. And I'm going to use this one right here so it stays in the same ratio, because if you drag this out, it's going to make it chunky. Okay, and so there I have my conference day. So I can go through and add my stickers like that. Now I want to go back to the beginning. So I did not put a link to go back to the front page because I don't usually need to go to the front page, I realized throughout the school year, because I had it there and I'd never used it. So when you first go past that front page, there are links here: how to use a digital planner, how to use stickers, how to use GoodNotes stickers, adding your own pages. These are tutorials that are videos that you get access to only by purchasing the planner. So they are unlisted YouTube videos. We have hex codes for all the colors that were used. These are the fonts if you wanted to purchase them so that you could use them for your own planner, you can do that. There are links here to get to the stores where the fonts were purchased from. And then I just have like my information in case you needed something. Okay, and then after that we do have the index and then the academic calendar. This is where I would start updating my planner for the school year, and I would do that by taking a screenshot of our academic calendar and then going up to photos up here and then putting it in there. I'm not going to do that right now on video though, because I don't disclose the school where I work, and it's right on there on that page. So I'm going to do this after the video. The bell schedule, same deal. I have to find it just to take a screenshot of it to put in here, but I do have that available too. And then my schedule I won't get yet, so I'm patiently waiting for that. So I'm going to leave that blank for right now. We don't have school in July. We have that one August conference day, and then I'll be adding conference days to those 3 days. We have no school here, and then here's first day of school. So I would add the stickers in there. I'm going to be really honest. Part of me wants to turn off the camera, go ahead and do that for the entire school year, and then come back and show you what it looks like. I think I'm only going to do it for September though, because I don't have the capacity to go through and do that for the entire planner. So I'm going to add those stickers onto this page and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm getting my last sticker in. Now what I don't like about doing the screenshot stickers is that they're not transparent, like you can't see anything behind them. So what I would use is the elements instead. I just don't have them loaded yet for the ones that I'd want to use. I don't know how this one of my son got in here, but for example, like if there was the musical, like notice how with this, the background is transparent. So that would be another option that you have. That would be my preferred option, but I don't have all the stickers in there right now. I will be doing a tutorial on that, on how that works on my Instagram. So if you follow me this week, there will be a bunch of tutorials there, and I'll try to link them on this YouTube video as they are published. But if you want a sticker that's all black to have some color, you can use the highlight, and the sticker will show up above the highlight, which is really cool. So that would be what September looks like. And then of course we have all the other months of school. And then we get to the specialty tabs. So I've been trying to figure out exactly what do I want to use the different tabs for. And this can change between now and when school starts. But I'm thinking as of right now that I want to make the first tab for my to-do lists. My second tab, I want it to be for weekly plans. Ignore my penmanship. I'm like sitting at a really awkward angle. And then I want another one to be my class lists. And then I'm on the PBIS committee, so I'll probably give PBIS its own tab, and then I want one that's just like notes, like in general, because where I have the notes that we saw before, where we were looking at the templates way back here, I want to keep this as just a bank of templates. I don't want to have to come here to try and find notes from a meeting. I want to be able to just go to a tab and then go through here to find the notes. And now this one I'm going to leave blank because you know what? The school year hasn't started yet. Who knows what we have coming? So I'm content to leave one empty for right now. So what I'm going to do though to make my life easier is add in some of the templates that I'll be using. So for example, to-do lists, I told you I have that one favorite. I'm going to look for it here. Actually, in GoodNotes, if I go over to favorites, it'll show me my thumbnails. So if I select this, I can hit copy. I can say I'm done. I can close that. And then I can go to the plus sign up here with the little paper, hit plus, and then I can paste page. And so it immediately pops up after. So my to-do list will be here, and it'll be really easy to find and keep track of because I just need to go to that pink tab, and then just the page after that is going to be my to-do list. Okay, my next section was for weekly plans. I'm going to go through my thumbnails again, and let me find my weekly plans template. So for me, what I liked last year was this template where I put the 3 different courses that I teach going down this side right here, and then my plans across for each week. So I'm going to select that. The bookmark disappeared when I hit select. I wasn't expecting that. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to hit done and close, and then I'm going to add that right here. And I'm not quite ready to fill in everything yet. I still have like 4 weeks to go. But I'm going to turn this and just fill these in really quick. I'm going to put geometry on top. It's like my main course. And then we have, okay, I just clicked out of this by accident. Let's see, because I tried to undo and then I clicked something else because I had it sideways. So let me try that again. We have general geometry, which is the non-Regents remedial geometry. We just go slower in that class and we don't teach proofs. And then in the fall, I have pre-calc. And in the spring, that becomes calculus. So that would be my 3 classes. I didn't even look at the camera. I hope that was on screen. I'm sorry if that wasn't. But that would be my weekly plans. And then what I'll do during the year is if I go to this add a page button again, I can add the current template. So I can just keep adding the same template over and over as I need throughout the year. And it's going to keep popping up the same thing. But the only thing is it won't copy those headings. So I actually could make it copy the headings. I'm just going to find where I am. I'm going to delete those extra pages I just made so I can go to, I'm trying not to do this too fast. I'm just kind of used to it. So if I go to select, and then I select those that had it blank and I hit trash, they're going to go away. But if I go here and copy and click done, close that, when I go to the add a page button and I paste the page, it will now have those headings from my different classes there. Okay, so the next section was my class lists. So I'm going to go in and find those. And again, I'm going to just peruse the thumbnails. The class lists are actually really easy to find because I can see the divider page right here, or I could have gone to the index. And for class list, I think I'll go with this template here. So another way I could add pages is if I click the add button, click current template, and then when I go to my thumbnails, I now have 2 of them. I can just click this and drag it to where I want it, and it's going to pop up after my yellow tab. So there's my class lists. So my next section is PBIS. Here I'm going to need my meeting notes templates. So if I scroll through the thumbnails, I could find my meeting notes. I could also go back to the index if I wanted to. I'm going to click select here. I'd rather have the ones with lines, although I could copy the blank one too, just in case. I'm going to hit copy, done and close, and then I'm going to add those pages. And see, now it says paste pages. It's going to paste both of them. So we have the line version and the unlined version. And then my next section was notes. So I'm going to go to the templates page, which again was a clipboard icon. And then if I go to notes, my options are blank, lined, and lined with a margin. So I think I'd actually would like to do the 2 ones with lines. So let me get my thumbnails up, and I'm going to select those. And I'm going to copy them. I'll go back to my blue section here, and then every extra tap, it like takes away the top ribbon, and I keep forgetting that. I'm going to paste those pages. Okay, so now they're in there. I have all my tabs filled in and ready to go. I still have more setup to do. Like I said, I have to do like my academic calendar through my district, do all of my calendars through June, but then the rest of this year is extra stuff. Actually, before I say that this is done, you know what I would like to have is behind my class lists, everything that like pertains to students in one location would be great. And maybe I'll change my mind on this later and decide I don't want to do that, but I think I'd like to have seating charts ready to go for there. So I'm going to take, there's 3 different seating charts to choose from. So I can have the blank version, the grid, or the dots. I think I'm going to do the dots. The dots is a new template. I did not have dots in here last year. So let me hit copy on that. I'm going to click done, go to that yellow section. And so after the class list, I'm going to paste that page. And so what I'll do here is sketch out what my seating chart looks like in my classroom. And then I'm going to copy this page and paste it 5 times because I will have 5 different classes. And then up here in the corner where it says period, I'm going to include the period. This class list page, I didn't do this yet and I should have. I'm going to make 5 copies of this right now because I'll have 5 different classes. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I never put this anywhere to like tell anyone this, but I write in this box up here is where I say like what period it is and what class. So that will be my class lists. I have my seating chart, and if we go back to the index, we also have a spot for the IEP 504. I'm going to take that, and there's 2 templates here. There's one for modifications and then one for accommodations. I want to take both of these. So I'm going to go to thumbnail view and copy. I'm going to click done. And then behind that yellow tab after the seating charts, I'll add those pages in right there. So that all my like main student information is going to be right behind this yellow tab here. So I'm excited about this. Like I was excited before when I finished all the planners, but now like seeing it set up for me personally, very excited. So obviously some people might not want it set up this way. They might want to do their tabs differently, like each tab could be a class period, which is totally fine. It just depends on what you want. That's why I left them blank, so you can pick. I kind of like having all of my student information in one spot, and then I like the idea of having class lists here on my iPad. They'll be really easy to pull up. Like if we have an emergency or something and I need my class list in front of me, I'll have it. The other thing that's really cool about seating charts is when you write their names down, you can lasso them. So let's say I had John and Brian and they were sitting next to each other and they were causing problems. I could just lasso Brian's name and move him over to a different table. So that's why I love the seating charts on here. And then having your IEP 504 information on your iPad is a solution, because anytime I needed to find my IEP 504 info, it was buried online. I'd have to like log in and find it. It was such a pain. But at the same time, I couldn't have like a printed copy lying around. With your iPad, you have to log in with your fingerprint. So it's going to be secure because only you can open your iPad unless you give someone else your passcode, which don't, because then this won't be secure. So we have that. That's going to stay confidential. The other thing is that we'll have the same thing happening for passwords. Your passwords are going to be kept secure because you have to unlock your iPad to log in. having the passwords in a paper planner has always driven me nuts because I was like, who wants their passwords in a book that someone can just open and look up? So I could also, on this page, I know I'm jumping around a lot because there's just so much here. I could add in those different headlines, like this right here would be my to-do list. The orange, I forget what it was, which is why I'm going to go through the process of writing it in so I don't miss anything. Weekly plans. And this was class lists. I remember green was PBIS and blue was notes. So I'm going to clean that up later because I can't stand the way that that looks. And what I could do again is take the actual fonts from the planner, and write them in on here. I can add them in using Procreate, which again, that's a separate tutorial, one that I should probably do over on Instagram so you could see it, but I feel like that's it. So there are things I still need to add to set it up, but like I said, I don't want to do that on camera. Plus, who wants to watch me put stickers in for every month about all the days we have off? Yikes. So if you have any questions about digital planning, let me know in the comments. And just one thing, if I'm in writing mode and I want to switch to a different page, if I just do a long press on the tab, it's going to pop up with something that says open link and it will go there for you. I went far too long without knowing that that was a thing. So again, I'm using the GoodNotes app. I'll have that linked below so you could check it out. The last time I checked, it cost $7.99. It was more than worth every single penny I've spent on it, to be honest. I'm obsessed with this app. I'll also link all my planners down below. And again, if you have any questions, type them into the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.